Good morning, everybody. I chose this topic also very consciously. Let me show this dancing girl to all of you. I got it mobilized from our place now. This is made by the tribes of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Orissa, who feel that this dancing girl belongs to us. I felt very, very happy. We get this statue made and bring for our book function. This is given as a memento. And then now this has become very, very famous. I think you can go to internet, even see that the Dokra Domers are making and the dancing girl. So that is how we need to understand Indus Valley. I chose this topic, the understanding Indus riddles, in the absence of a bilingual script. The announcement you all heard from the Honorable Chief Minister making an announcement that anybody basically deciphering in a convincing way, which will be accepted by everybody, the stakeholders, will be given $1 million as on today. I think Dr. Omar Khan also brought to our notice that a similar offer is made from another source. Now put together $20 million is on stake. It can be deciphered. That would be a great day. But pending that, what are we going to do? That is this particular talk about. Riddles. Indus has got a lot of riddles. Who were the authors of that civilization? What language and languages? I'm very particular about it. Even I will go to the level of telling that family of languages and family of language or even languages in the fringes. There's a possibility. So what language and languages did they speak? Where to look for antecedents of Harappan urbanism? How do we trace the lingering legacies of IVC in the classical text of Indian subcontinent? Mostly from the archaeological point of view, my colleague Amarnath would be handling. There could be some overlap. I will guess what he would say that and try to avoid that. Are there any takeaways for the future? This conference, I'm telling you, this is, I will later on tell, in 1935, the Director General of Archaeology, K.N. Dixit, came to Madras University and spoke on a topic of the Indus Valley civilization. After that, except the current wave of Sindhu Valley being discussed in different districts and the forums and university, if you take away this current wave of Indus Valley in Tamil Nadu, after 1935, a structured discussion involving the scholars, teachers, and students, and the stakeholder. This is the first time, 1935. Nearly 90 years after that, we are discussing in a serious way. That way, this is a first government-sponsored program. I can confidently tell, I've been dabbling with the Indology for the last 38 years, and this is for the first time I had a free lunch connected with the Indus Valley civilization. Yeah, otherwise, I work in my spare time, and my time is my time. I am an independent researcher. So this is a context. The Indus script has been linked to all possible linguistics affinity, including Austro-Asiatic. People like Witzel and many people have written about it. It's a Mundarian language and all. Dravidian. And so Dravidian language is the most prominently claimed, and Indo-Aryan. And then the texts have been fancifully linked to the Easter Islands also. There has been books have been written. This is an Easter Island connectivity. The complete absence of information about this vast and complex civilization in any of the historical records of ancient India. The historical records mean whether they are actually historical record or not, anything written in India or anything talks about the past or history, I take that as a granted. It's an historical record. Whether it is a Veda or Mahabharata or the Ramayana and the Sangam literature, direct reference to the Mohenjo-daro Harappa, people baffled. Such a things are not available. There is a vacuum. And then including Vedic text adds to the mystery of the civilization. Why I'm particularly telling Vedic civilization, Sangam literature far away, distance-wise. But Vedic is supposed to have been composed in that area. I'm mentioning that. Of all the suggestions on the language of the Indus civilization, the Dravidian hypothesis is by far the best working hypothesis. We use the word working hypothesis. We are working with the belief that it's a Dravidian. This is what many scholars have come to think. It's the best working hypothesis. This is a word used by R.Balakrishnan for the decipherment of the Indus script and the understanding of the language and culture. Former, that's a scholar, Witzel and Sporet, consider the Indus script is non-linguistic. That means we are talking about the Indus script. Then we are also talked about the Indus nondescript or non-script. And Airavadam responded to that. There is a solid archaeological and linguistic evidence to show that the Indus script is a writing system encoding the language of region, most probably Dravidian. To deny the very existence of this script is not a way forward for a further progress. So he basically gave a concluding remark to that. But the question still remains. This meant that the Dravidian language family was the only remaining viable potential linguistic relative to the Harappan language. I am not hiding. There is no point hiding. I am batting for the Dravidian hypothesis, but with an open mind. Any evidence given contrary, I am always willing to speak. I have written a book. I am not an academician. Particularly, I am not a scientist. I am an ordinary student of Tamil literature. I studied only Tamil literature. But I can defend every page I have written in my book and in any forum. The presence of Dravidian loanwords in Rig Veda, widely recognized by scholars of Sanskrit and Dravidian, was used by Parpola to indicate the strong possibility of Dravidian languages having been spoken in Indus Harappan geographies, where the Rig Veda was composed in 2nd millennium BC, noting also that Brahui in Balochistan is the only surviving Dravidian language in that region. So then the current status of decipherment. There are some people claim, even now you must have seen in the YouTubes and WhatsApp is the source of history now, and YouTube is another story. Instagram is very quick in creating history. And so then people do claim that I have read this one, read that one and all. We don't take much note of it, but when it comes from the serious scholars, I take a note of it. Now, these two great scholars, Asko Parpola and Airavada Mahadevan, both subscribe to Dravidian. Why I went to different route, I need to explain to you. Asko Parpola and Airavada Mahadevan have also researched the possibility of the presence of Murugan in the IVC. That means even you can make a guesswork that if it is a closer to Tamil, or a early Tamil, or a old Tamil, or Dravidian, anything you tell, that you have to connect Murugan because he is a Tamil god. So then there will be a normal tendency to look for Murugan. And Murugu or Murugan. Asko Parpola considers that bangles on the Indus seal as one of the names of Murugan. He came to a conclusion that bangles is like a Muruku. Like he also uses that Palagaram Muruku, which is used that when we make a Muruku, it looks like a Valayal. So Muruku, it's a twisting. So that is the Muruku, and that is a rebus technique. It creates the word Murugan or Murugu by creating a Muruku or Valayal. Mahadevan interprets the Murugu as the demonic tribal god of ancient Tamil. You know that well and very artidal. Murugu then comes and possesses. So he used this symbol, which is saying that it's a spirit, a demonic spirit, where the rib and other thing, which he compares with the Harappan skeletal deity. I am an outsider, rank outsider. I have a 24/7 job to pursue. 40 years I have worked. I have always holding a very important time-taking assignment. Then I came to a conclusion, I will not spend my time in trying to decipher, because I was convinced from here, two great scholars subscribing to the Dravidian hypothesis, arriving at the same name using two different set of signs. I was disturbed. So then I came to that, howsoever I try to do that, somebody else is going to deny that. This is the status of Indus reading so far. No one will accept with the another person. Will Indus script will be ever be deciphered? Okay, now that $20 million available and newcomers, the hope is not with the people who are already spent. I am 66. Okay, we have a great scope in the IT people, the software people all over the world, and it's open. Probably some out-of-box thinking. Will a Rosetta Stone type bilingual script ever be found? We keep on telling we don't have a bilingual script. We have. Even if found, will it ever be released for public view? I'm consciously making this question. Consciously making. Suppose suddenly a Rosetta Stone type bilingual script is found elsewhere. Probably if it is found in Keeladi, it will be in safer hands. If it is in Adichanallur, we will guard it like eyes and our soul. But then elsewhere, will that Rosetta Stone will find a public view? I have a reason for it. Keelady report is yet to be published. Adichanallur was not published for 19 years. Will an out-of-box solution arise from techno-driven ideas? There is a possibility. Until such time, what next? Are we going to keep quiet? No, we are not going to keep quiet. Indus archaeology, with reference to the south, has gone south. There is a phrase in English. You see that Cambridge Dictionary and all. If something has gone south, that means it's gone down the hill, finished, vanished, destroyed. Stock market went south. Okay, when it comes to the Indus research and the Indus archaeology with reference to the south, it's already gone south. Daimabad remains frozen as the southernmost point outpost for the quite number of years. Nobody digs, nobody bothers. K.N. Dixit came to this Madras. He went to university in 1935 and his speech was published in 1939. The speech was 90-year-old and the publication is something like that. And the title was Prehistoric Civilization of the Indus Valley. In such a topic, we are now talking. He spoke in 1935. He is not from Madurai. He is not from Tirunelveli. He is not ordinary person. He was the Director General of Archaeology. He worked with John Marshall. He is a great scholar. And he came and told, do you know what he said? My colleagues in Chennai, Madras, archaeology, if they start digging in a place like Korkai, Tirunelveli area, probably we may find something similar or the contemporaneous to the Indus Valley civilization or slightly later. Because we have found a connecting material which is in Kutch and Gujarat, which is reminding me is the Adichanallur finding in 1904 by the Alexander Ree. Again, thanks goes to the Marshall. And this man came and gave a lead. No one touched it. 1935 to 2004. 1904, the Alexander Ree did it. After that, T. Satyamurthy is a friend of mine. He worked with me in Orissa. He came to Adichanallur. We had celebrated 100 years of the restoration of the Konark in Orissa. We issued a stamp. He was working with me. I was a tourism secretary. He got a transfer to Chennai and he said 100 years is going to be Adichanallur. That 100 years of Konark, he came to the Adichanallur because he was posted. If he was not posted, I don't think that anybody would have gone. But he did it in 2004 and 5. The report was not published till 2018-19. Somebody had to go to the court and argue for that and to get a report. Even after the court's intervention, ASI's first and second phase archaeology reports of Keelady, done by none other than Amarnath Ramakrishnan, I have been there, have yet to be published. In the meantime, much water has flown in Vaigai and Keelady, irrespective of whosoever say what. The prize announcement for the deciphering industry may encourage techno-savvy scholars and independent research to find new ways. But in the absence of decipherment, the option of studying the body language of the IVC remains open. That is what I have been doing. I have decided not to try to decipher the language. I'm not that qualified. And I have seen the example of Asko Parpola and Airavadam Mahadevan. Unless somebody comes and break the code or a Rosetta Stone found or something new out of box thinking coming, and a person like a career civil servant cannot do that, I decided to study the body language. Okay, what do I mean by body language? Yesterday, Mr. Rajan made a presentation. Phenomenal presentation. Book was released by Honorable Chief Minister. Professor Rajan's study indicates 60% of the graffiti marks found in Tamil Nadu had their parallels to the scripts found in Indus seals. More than 90% of the graffiti marks of South India and the graffiti marks of the Indus Valley civilization had parallels. This study proves that deciphering the Indus script can help decipher graffiti mark found in Tamil Nadu or vice versa. If you study this one, you can understand. That is what he said. Okay, but the fact remains, neither graffiti nor that script or sign, whichever name you call it, even today the status is still undeciphered. In such a situation, however, till this script and graffiti is deciphered and the language is found, this corpus remains, according to me, a part of the body language. I will say the typology, how the same kind of signs could be drawn in graffiti, how they could write in the pottery. I consider that intention, that execution as a body language because I don't know the language. I will show a map. Why I call? Because there is an approach. Somebody made a presentation telling that we have to have a regional and micro approach and build the conversation. And then the fact remains that there is something called taking an aerial view and taking a drone shot. Okay, pottery type, graffiti, and the body language. I'll tell you, Rajan made a presentation, 15,000 and odd, and the graffiti is found in Tamil Nadu alone. We don't know how much in Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, and then Orissa, we started digging in Palur, in the black and red ware pottery. We found the graffiti, 20 odd and all. It will be found wherever BRW. Why are 90% of the parallels for Indus graffiti found in Tamil Nadu? And why does graffiti occur only in black and red ware pottery? And why not in painted grey ware pottery? Despite PGW being an elite ware. Elite ware means a kind of a vessel or a ware used by the high class people or elite people. It is called in the archaeology, it's called elite ware. Or a common grave goods. What is put in the grave goods cannot be in elite ware or something like that. So that means common ware used by a normal man, like a potter or a person who purchased, there you find the writing, Tamili, script and the graffiti. But PGW, nothing is found so far. This particular island, which we draw this thing, this map in my book, I see that all the white dots, the entire India, the entire South India, entire this field, wherever you find the dot, this is the PGW's meeting the BRW preceding, and someplace it will be the red pottery, then it will go into the northern block painted ware, and then this is found in Adichanallur and not other places. The entire South India, Gujarat Harappan civilization matured. It goes via Narmada and Dapti side and gets into the Kaimur hills and climb up to the eastern UP and gets into the Jharkhand and then Bihar and Orissa, Bengal and Assam. This is the thing. What you find here, you will find here. That is the reason Indus people went everywhere. But then they wrote the literature in some places where there was an opportunity. So then this answer, I call this as a body language. Till it is deciphered, taking a pottery, a particular person decide I will do a graffiti, whatever he has written, and that is the black and red ware pottery. The archaeologists all over were telling us that BRW means megalithic pottery. But BRW is found in non-megalithic context also. BRW means is an Iron Age pottery. Then historical time, Sangam age, all these tags were given. But then when we put this map, we found that this is an island in the upper Gangetic Valley associated with the new arrival of the people. I am just putting the light on that. Okay, I have to look at here. Okay, this one, and look at this particular is an island of the PGW, which we are associating with the new arrival. Sangam literature says, Ariyar Thundriya Perisa Imayam. Sangam literature clearly says that where they came from and what they come. These are the area, the dots are the BRW pottery, where the graffitis are written. And then this is the interaction zone where the Romila Thapar talks about it, so many other people are talking about it, and this is a reality. For me, it's an area view taken about the body language of a culture. The defining features of the IVC, let us decide. Bricks, highest, lowest, mother goddess, etc. Just make a quick look at it. Need not spend much time. I don't want to come in his way. Backed bricks, standard size, standardized terracotta objects, copper and bronze object, daily use. The prominent color is red. We call it a Dravidian red. Mother goddess figurines in plenty. Uniform type of script. Solid wheel cart drawn by cattle. Absence of horse. Presence of buffalo. Export of buffalo to Sumeria. And the citadel on the elevated platform in the western side. And the lower town in the eastern side. Standard weights and measures. Nature of roads and drainages. Masonry wells and tanks. Toys and crafts. This is the way I paint a picture. Then, okay, it goes without saying, it's just a visual. And then this is a thing which I wrote in 2012, the high-west, low-east dichotomy of Indus town planning, a Dravidian paradigm. This was again carried in the Harappa.com by Dr. Omar Kamal. And then it was the basis for my Tamil book, Sindhuveli Panbat in Dravida Adithalam in 2016. And I met Amarnath Ramakrishnan after 45 days of that book being released, went to Kiladi. and then JOC and its Tamil translation. And the Airavada Mahadevan last paper, this in the lecture series, there was a book was brought out. He wrote the last article. And in this article, in the beginning para itself, he gives the expresses he has been very broad-minded. He was my teacher. He was my mentor. So he gave an open-minded appreciation of this paper, and his last paper drew the inspiration from this he wrote. He has been so kind-hearted. So this is a thing I don't want to take much. You can always access in the harappa.com, in my book also, the toys and mother goddess. And then here I would slightly hold. This is a dice found, T.N. Ray, 1937, he wrote a book. He says that sports and games in ancient India. He said that the ancient most sports pastime of the past, where the elders and everybody spent, was the play of dice. And he also wrote that the first cubic dice, actually the proper dice and the board, was invented in Indus Valley civilization. He compared with the dice game in the Vedic. He comes to that it is a kind of a seed. And basically, in Tamil, it's called Tandri Kottai, and Bitika, if I rightly pronounce in Sanskrit, Bitika is a kind of a seed. He says that even now we play sometimes the tamarind seeds and all, and this was used to play, not a terracotta burnt dice, he says, T.N. Ray, 1937. And this cubic dice found in Harappa, cubic dice found in Mohenjo-daro, it has been found in Lothal. Okay, come to Kiladi. And Kiladi, in other places, we find the cubic dice. I would like to introduce a Sangam poem. There is a girl waiting for her lover to come. And then she is expressing her mind. Her companion says that, she is thinking, oh, will he come? The moment he thinks he comes quickly, then her mind so happy. It is equivalent to, in the dice game, somebody gets a 10 number 10. And another time, he is coming little delayed, and she is waiting. And so she is little disappointed. So that mindset is equal to getting small number. And then he is getting another mindset, it's equivalent to getting the repeat number. And he doesn't come at all. And her mindset equivalent to losing money in the game and losing the game. And I don't think in India, any other classical literature and makes this kind of scenario, dramatic scenario, where the number 10. Lot of commentators in the medieval age, they were wondering, okay, the current we are playing, we will get only 8. How anybody will get 10 number while playing 2 dice? Tolkappiyam, first grammar, talks about the instrument used. What you call the gamesman, we call it dogs, noi. And the board, dice board. Sangam, Tolkappiyam gives the grammar, how to pronounce, how to write. So that kind of deep-rooted thing, in India, somewhere, the cubic dice only it is possible, getting a number 10. You get 6 and 4, 10. If you get both 5 and 5, you get 10. So if somewhere the number 10 can be get in the cubic dice, it was possible in Mohenjo-daro, archaeologically proved, Harappa, archaeologically proved, and Gujarat, Lothal proved, in Kiladi proved, and the only literature in this subcontinent which talks about it and mentions about it, and we have interpreted it is nothing but cubic dice because he is getting 10. So this I call it's a body language. I don't know the language in which Indus script has been written, but I know the body language. There is a Sangam poetry. Why I did not do a PhD after topping the university in 1978 and 80 in the student of Tamil literature. I have studied nothing else. I refused to pursue MPhil or PhD because I had some question. I was not getting an answer in the classroom from anywhere when I asked this question. Will camel eat bone? I was quoting Sangam literature. A camel is carrying the mercantile good of the merchants and walking in the desert, and out of hunger, it eats the perished animal's bone and is quenching its starvation. It is mentioned. And another place, a camel is just lying on the seashore, and for a poet who looks from a distance, it looks like a wood carried, a wood log carried from the seashore and put it. So I was wondering where he saw that, how it was being used for the mercantile carrying as a beast of burden. Entire peninsular area, there is no camel. How this guy is telling this as a similarity in describing Say, camel is in Rajasthan. I pursued this question in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Jaisalmer, Bikaner Camel Research Institute, got in touch with the people in Pakistan. You go and Google for it in Dawn, about 4 or 5 years back, there's an article, a continuous drought in the Sindhi area where there's a desert, and the Dawn reports that the camel in that area started eating bones. We got an answer. For the question, I had it in the university, I had the answer after 40 years. I've been pursuing this question. Camel will eat bone. No literature in India, written in Rajasthan, written in Gujarat, written in Sanskrit, ever talks about this fact. Sangam text only records that. This is a yak. And I went to Indo-Tibetan Culture Center. I have done election in Ladakh. I have been to Kargil. I spoken to the people who deal with the yak. I was asking question, what kind of food yak? You Google for it. The aromatic tea of yak. In Tibet and China, they sell a tea called aromatic tea, yak tea. So why it is a yak tea is a great, they say the yak goes and eat and picks up a particular grass, the lemongrass type of thing, a little aromatic, and it gets into the system, and the milk becomes aromatic milk. Because we make a tea out of that milk, this is called yak aromatic tea. Google for it. And I have been to ask this question in Ladakh. And then Sangam literature says, what is the name of that particular grass it will eat, under which tree it will sleep along with pair, and dreaming about next day also getting access to the same grass. These two yaks are having a dream. Sangam literature writes about that. No literature in India. I have traversed and asked this question to many people, and nobody recorded. And then there is in Sangam literature, there is what you call wild horse. In Tamil, it's called Attiri and Kovir Kaludai. And it comes in the medieval Mediterranean side and all. A lover is returning back. And then he wants to, the chariot man, go quickly. My lover is waiting for me. Just go. So he's just trying to make it that, what you call, this wild horse carrying a small rekla type of small vehicle. Only one person can go and drive her. And this particular wild horse, which has been domesticated and used as a beast of burden, is limping because it has been bitten by a baby shark. It's a shark pup. Okay, in India, in South Asia, only place wild horse, domestic wild horse sanctuary also in Kutch, wild horse domesticated and used for the drawing the cart in Gujarat and Rajasthan area, and the only place where the shark comes and lay egg and breeds is in the backwater of the Kutch. There is only location where the wild horse drawn track has been bitten by a shark. That is a geographical possibility only in Gujarat. So like that, the wind direction and all we have discussed about it. So I call this a body language of carried forward memory. So this is in 2010. This I found in 2002 and 2004. I woke up my wife and told that I broken the code. I have found the KVT complex. She asked me to, okay, it's already night 2 o'clock, you go to sleep. So that was it. But I waited after that 8 years, 6 years to do so many other case studies. I did a case study of Parsis. I did a case study of the European migration and what they carried to America, and the black African people were taken as slaves to America, what they carried and what Parsis carried. I did a numerous international case studies to convince myself. Before publishing, I put myself in the witness box and I interrogate and question myself. I took 8 years to convince that I am talking sense, which I presented in 2010 in the presence of Asko Parpoda and Airavada Mahadevan. These two people told me, you are into right direction, you go ahead that in 2010. If you see the name, it's only one thing I'm telling, like this, hundreds. Names without which you cannot build ancient Tamil identity. The capitals of Chera, Chola, Pandya, the names of the harbors, Chera, Chola, Pandya, Korkai, Vanji, Tondi, and like anything, Maran, Valudi, Nalai, Kannagi, Kovalan, anything you tell, Totti, whatever Sangam literature writes, hundreds and hundreds of names. I tried all method. Can it be accidental? I tried all method. Will it come again? So then I don't get into the etymological trap. If you ask me what is the meaning of Korkai, I will say I don't know. What is the name of the Vanji? I don't know. Karigalan? I don't know. Any number of stories about Kadigalan and Perinjotu Udiyalathan, I refuse to be trapped in the etymology. I taken this as a consonant vowel sequence and put it in the computer. My computer I have been working for last 30 odd years and work that as a mathematics. And come to Juravan, this is the place where it is happening. What is the route by which the names are traveling? This I call it a KVT complex, Korkai Venji Tundi complex. This I has called as a body language. I don't know the language, but a man while traveling, he carries what he carries. He carries the carried forward memory. With him, who walks? His gods and goddesses. His gods and goddesses, his faith and belief system. This is what the Indians have taken to America. That is what Indians took to South Africa, to Fiji. This is what historically. I met a tribal in Orissa. He was equivalent to no professor has ever taught me what he taught me. And that particular tribal family group shifted their village 3 times in 70 years. Some anthropologist mentioned, I went to that village. I asked him, you shifted 3 times in the 70 years, but you are carrying the same village name. You also call this village here, call the same name here, same the name here. But so many words must be there. Why don't you give a new name? I asked him. Do you know what he said? How can you say that, sir? This is not the name. This name belongs to our ancestor. The name has been given by the ancestor. Suppose I give a new name. My ancestor's spirit will come and it will miss the pin code and address. It will get confused. So it will go into the wrong door and it will search for me. This answer actually stunned me. That means why and names are carried. So this is a tribal taught me. I quoted in my book. Like this, the names are carried. It's a body language. Look at this particular thing. Seal number 338 and Cock City, Airavada Mahadevan call it a Seval Nagara. He says there are 2 cocks and this is a town, city. It is accepted in the Sumerian other civilization also. It is a symbol for the sign for the city. Because there is a cocks there, he calls a cock city and compare with the Sanskrit tradition called Kukudarma. Kukuda in Oriya and other Prakrit language, Kukuda mean cock and hen, and then Arma mean the deserted place. So Kukudarma he compared. There's a thing he called it a cock city. I improvised it. My interpretation was the necks of the cocks are raised. Necks of the cocks are raised. Tails are up and stiff. The legs are unsettled and slightly raised above the ground level. Certainly these cocks do not seem to be picking out grains on the wayside. And they are probably in flight. And in fighting mode, they are indeed game cocks. The reason being, because if it is a cock is a normal bird, household bird, nobody has to say, then it's a cock city. So that means one cock is enough. In some villages, it says thousands, millions of cock, then you need more than 2. Why he put a 2 as a dichotomy or contradiction, binary? So I analyzed it. The answer, this is the 5th century and 6th century inscription in Tamil Nadu, in Indalur, Arasalapuram. The two cocks are fighting. It belongs to Melacheri and it belongs to Kilacheri. And then it is winning and defeating. These people of the Kilacheri, they are erecting. The cock is died in the process of cockfight. They are giving a pet name to that cock. It's called Purkotri. That means lotus cock or the golden cock. They say golden hen. And then they celebrate it and erect a hero stone. Erect a hero stone for the cock. Anywhere in India, if you show me a hero stone in 5th century and 6th century like this raised. And then this is this Chola coin. The Sangam Chola coin again talks about the valor of the cock. It is fighting against an elephant. And then the Chola king decides that this is a place I would like to keep my capital. The capital is called Koliyur. Koliyur means cock city. And then there is a movie in 2010 came. The movie's name is Adukalam. The whole movie is the cockfight. If you go and take this movie in Hindi or some other language, it will not even go one show or one day because people cannot understand. Whereas this movie got a national award because it is in the blood. So it is a body language. I don't know the language of the Indus. This is a Jebubil, Bos Indicus, and it is an icon. And mind it, there is no prominent anywhere. The cow, without cow, a bull cannot come. But cow is not depicted. Some animals are absent, you have to understand. Gir forest has got now is having exotic aliens. Tapper has written a book also. Apart from that, there is a lion, but lion is not depicted in Indus thing. Even you see that Brenda was showing that Gilgamesh story, the two side, two lion. When it comes to the Indus, same thing will become two side, two tigers. And then two side, two tigers, a man is dealing with this near Karur, we have found it, in Tamil Nadu. And then, this is the thing where the seal depicting a buffalo throwing players. It's like an animation. One fellow is flying this side, another fellow is flying this side, another fellow is fallen here, another fellow is fallen here. More than one people, more than two people, three people dealing with an animal is a game. And this is a game. The photo was taken in 2018. And 2018 we sent a photographer, we showed him. The man should be flying like this. I told the cameraman, we got so many photographs, all these positions. And it is a living art. In 2017, there was an attempt to ban Jallikattu here. And the entire marina, there was people, thousands of people. They are all working in IT companies. They are not the bull tamers. So then why they did it? It's a body language. I have not read the Indus language. And this is a fish. This is a tiger. And this is a bow and arrow. If somewhere, bow and arrow, fish and tiger coming together in one document, that is Indus seal. Outside that, if anywhere, these three coming together in a prominent way spoken again and again as a symbol of the Chera and Chola and Pandya. It is somewhere these three symbols are residing in the collective memory, collective consciousness of a particular group of people. They are Tamils. Even today, every fellow will identify, I am a fish guy, I am a bow and arrow guy. Kerala, our Tony is from the bow and arrow areas, so they've gone separately. So the tiger and thing is returning. And imagine, this is a conversation between the tiger and lions, in a way, the Indian history has been. So this is a thing. You see that in Awadh kingdom, there's a fish is a symbol. In Buddhism, Awadh the symbol is a very important thing. But then seeing all the three together, you will not find anywhere. I call it the body language of a culture. So history is not a frozen snow, frozen entity, but a flowing river. I wrote in, I think some of you must have read it, in the week, I wrote an article, some other interviews also carried. So this is to mark the Indus 100, Harappa 100. The week came with a special issue. I wrote that it is disheartening that leading scientific and technological institutions in the country are risking their reputation by promoting myths as a history and pseudoscience as a fact. Yesterday I told that. The reason I am worried, I am telling you, I am a student of literature. I have a scientific bent of mind. I need not be a scientist to be having a scientific bent of mind. I can be a literature student. But today that is the reason I was telling that why do you bother about an archaeologist having a little bit, you see, somebody was trying to react. I spoke. He spoke in any language. We are talking about a rainforest pluralism. He is from a tribal land. I know that is an umbilical cord. So, then today I got a message from America. I will just read it. I just put it, I hope that I got it. And it is from the Professor Raj Muthurasan. Google for him. And he is in the late 60s, he went to US. He's a professor, head of the department. He's a part of the history. He is everywhere. He's a celebrated scientist. And he also studies the DNA kind of related. He's a PhD Chemical Engineering, Drexel University 73, MS Chemical Engineering, Drexel 71. And from 69 years working, he was in IIT Madras. And so he works on the biosensor and cantilever sensor and all. He sent me a message just now about an hour back. I saw that. He says they are seeing this program. First day he saw. Second day he saw. Just listen to second day morning session. His area of interest is DNA. I am afraid the term ASI and ANI as presented is a confusing concept. He talks about the ancient South Indian, ancient North Indian. And before that, there is another category called AASI, Ancient Ancestral South Indian. And Tony Joseph has dealt with that. David Reach has dealt with that. Vagish Narasimhan, I directly asked this question from Madurai. It has been again and again clarified. And then the people who are responsible have given an interview. What I wrote in the Science Journal was wrong. What I am giving as an interview is right. This man right from America, he said he is worried. I find it uncomfortable. With this diagram was shown. Interestingly, David Reach notes this in his book, 6th chapter, of his discomfort. And so does Tony Joseph, recounts this issue on page 88 and 89 of his book. In their diagram, ANI is literally R1A, and the ASI is all except R1A. I'll tell you, this is coming from a retired professor in the yesterday's conference. So that is the reason I said, you have the establishment, you have the IITs, you have the IIM, you have the thing, there is a site for the search of Saraswati. Go and, the moment you put Saraswati in Google, Saraswati in ISRO, you go and put it. Palliate channel, there is a complete wing is devoted, and people do research. Welcome. So the truth has to come, whichever way. So whatever we call today the collective cultural history of India, this is the, I have written, is the result of continuous experiences stretching back to prehistory. In this journey, the pre-Harappan, Harappan, and post-Harappan periods, the second urbanization in Gangetic Valley, and the carried forward memories of the Indus past as recorded in Sangam corpus and the ancient Tamil text must be also be considered. And any attempt to build a singular narrative around India's plural identity is fraught with danger. India's pluralism. This is the book which I have been in Journey of a Civilization. India's pluralism is not a melting pot pluralism. Melting pot pluralism is an alloy-making process. You put many metals and you melt it and become a new alloy. One metal is going to claim that it is me, and the identity of all other metal will be killed at the altar of the dominant metal. So melting pot I am rejecting. And in America, people nowadays, they speak very proudly that we are at salad bowl pluralism. Okay, once it's come to salad bowl, white, red, and green, all colors treated equal. Okay, I'm a cucumber, I'm an onion, I am a carrot, and all kind of things. We are the salad bowl, we are Americans. I don't agree with that, because the salad bowl is the post-harvest process. It's not organic. Somebody has to make a selection. All the vegetables are not making to the grade of the salad bowl. I have not seen a brinjal. I have not seen a bitter gourd. I have not seen. There has to be carrot and beetroot and the onion. So it's a kind of, there is a neat examination which needs to be passed before getting into the salad bowl. And then India's pluralism is vibrant, inclusive, interdependent, and is functional. And it's like a rainforest. So I call it India's pluralism, rainforest pluralism. The mapping of the past through the construction of a master commemorative narrative is what Claude Lévi-Strauss called the pressure of history. The pressure of history. It is crucial that we handle this pressure of history with care and responsibility. And that's what this particular conference would like to say. In Sangam literature, Kaniyan Pungundanar makes one line statement. Yadum Ure, Yavarum Kelir. Every town, our hometown, every man, kinsman, our kinsman. Indus Valley civilization was plural. Indian society was plural. And the Sangam literature was plural. And the Indian society even today is a plural. Our tribals are our umbilical. India will remain plural. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for